Mic check, mic check. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Thank you, beautiful spirit. We good to go. We good to go.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. This God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm back. Peace, world, peace. Welcome or welcome back. I am Goddess Dawn. Yeah. And I'm back live on this Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. For those keeping track, you know what I'm saying? You might have dug this out of a time capsule or something. But we're here live today for a continued discussion about R. Kelly and his continued legal sagas. And that's sagas with an S on the end. So let me just see who's here real quick. I see a couple of y'all have made it. I'm a little earlier than usual. You know, just trying to do something a little different. See how this pans out. I'm more so a night owl, so the next one might be at midnight. All right. Mary Blue, yeah, good to see you, JC, Miss Stella, beautiful spirit, yeah. Warrior Gang. Let me throw the link out here, because I know a couple of y'all may want to join me. Now, with the Wednesday Night Live, we are typically cutting this one a lot shorter than Saturday, because folks got to work in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Chrissy Power, welcome back, yeah. That's right, that's right. So yeah, we're talking about R. Kelly and all of his continued legal bullshit. But before we get into R. Kelly specifically, a couple things. Let me share my screen here. So Greg Landfair, Rashana Landfair's father, who we discussed, I think, last live, when we found out that he had passed away a short time before we got the announcement, we were questioning what happened. He was in his late 50s and had just played a gig like the Thursday before the Monday that I think we got the news. So with that said, it is definitely official. There was a memorial. His son, who, if you can see the screen, I think this is off his page. His @ is Sticks Jams. That's his son, Rashana's brother, in case you are on Instagram and you want to follow him. But as far as I can tell, we still don't know the cause of death. Looking for updates, so y'all keep me posted. You know, I know there are a lot of y'all, or a few of y'all, I'll say a few of y'all, who fly from channel to channel in this sector. And yeah, I am in the bushes or the replay sometimes, and I see all the chat action. I'm like, wow, sometimes too, because like, who knew? Who knew some of y'all were supporting who you do? It's all good though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to out anybody as long as you're not talking shit about me or my folks over here. We good. Yep. All the way. So I put the chat in the, the link in the chat in case you know who, the two of you in there want to join me. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday night, live. It's a beautiful day out here. And I've been out and about, so I'm just trying to hunker down and get back to my normal practice of being home. Too much for a day. Let me put y'all on hold 1 second. 1 second. Yo, what up? I'm live, babe. No, I haven't. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not going to be long. I'll look after. Bye. All right, I'm back. All right, so. All right, Hazel E. Welcome back. I see you, Star Pepper. Welcome. All right, so. Couple things before we get into R. Kelly's madness. We do want to. Oh shoot, I didn't bring the picture up. Hold on, let me get the picture together. Lordy Lord. This is what happens during the week when I'm distracted with other things, business calls and whatnot. Oh shoot, don't want to print that. I got a couple pics I need to get up here so I can bring them on the screen for you. Quite a few, actually. Yes. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be alive. Let me just say that. It's just too much out here. Our health is vulnerable, you know, it's very precious. So I care about myself, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about some of y'all. Okay, let's see, what was I doing first and foremost here? Yeah, I think we'll say RIP to Frankie, Keisha Cole's mom, Frankie, who passed away at the age of 61. As you can see, TMZ let us know that she overdosed on her birthday. And it's really sad because she struggled with this, as long as we've known her. And of course, we got to know and love her on reality TV, thanks to her daughter, Keisha Cole, the very talented and beautiful, I'm going to say, regardless of her flaws. But yeah, it's a shame that the drugs overcame her and she died on her birthday, y'all. But R.I.P. Frankie. R.I.P. Life is not promised tomorrow. Not promised tomorrow at all. All right, so what else do we have up here? I also, let me make sure I have this in the order I want it. I try to do things in an orderly fashion. That's the way I roll. Yeah, so we also need to keep prayers up for Mrs. Savage. I believe it's Jonjolyn Savage. There have been reports about her having DUIs kind of back to back from what I can tell. The picture on the left is from April 16th of this year. And then just right after, on May 11th, she got yet another. So both look like they're DUI charges. And as you can tell, she looks unhappy. It's just really sad. She's going through it, y'all. We got to keep her in our prayers, especially, I'm sure, with this trial right here around the corner. We haven't heard a peep, we the public, from Joycelyn. So I'm pretty sure, there's a lot going on that we have no idea about. And if we know what we do know, if it is what we do know, it's that she misses her daughter. She doesn't have control over the child that she birthed, her whereabouts, who she's with, what she's doing. Just looking at her, it hurts my heart. It's sad. It's really sad. She has a strong resemblance to her daughter. I didn't really notice it as much as I see the picture on the right where I was going to say her hair is slicked back, or maybe it's just not on, but I see the face. Wow. You guys are in a real delay, huh? But yeah, R.I.P. Frankie. I'm just looking at the chat. So moving on. Harvey Weinstein was extradited from New York to LA to face more sexual assault charges, 11 of them to be exact. Yeah, he pled not guilty. So, we'll see what happens. He's already serving 23 years. Yeah, that's right. He's serving 23 years in New York at a federal detention, prison. It's one, I didn't write the name of it down, but it's probably in one of those, a real Club Med, But yeah, he's facing more charges, and he can basically go straight to hell after he serves all of his years. So bye, Weinstein. That's pretty much all I have to say. And switching gears completely real quick, just touching on a couple of things, because I know Saturday we talk about a mix of these things. But Van Jones, you got a target on your back now. Y'all hear about this? Jeff Bezos awarded Van Jones, he gives out this award, Courage and Civility Award is what it's called. $100 million to do as he wishes. And I think it's related to community. Obviously, I've already heard of people bidding or pitching ideas and business opportunities and propositions. So if you have any ideas for Van Jones to spend some of that $100 million your way, I say write up a proposal for it and get it to the man. But that's what I mean about having a target on his back. We'll talk about that on Saturday more so. I just wanted to touch on it. So we're going to get into R. Kelly. Beautiful spirit. Welcome. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm going to take this Bluetooth off because it's loud today. But yeah, we good. Baby girl, we good over here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I didn't know that about Miss Savage.
So, yeah, a lot going on this week. A lot going on with R. Kelly's trial that's coming up in New York, and also some activity in Illinois. I don't remember whether or not I mentioned it last live or not, but we'll get into all that. But with just R. Kelly in mind at this moment, like, I'm just wondering, is it just Chicago? Like, as far as the mess he's in? Because honestly, Chicago's a whole crime mess. And has been for decades, since the mob, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, and the reason I'm saying this, let me actually share why I'm saying this.
Okay.
You can get a better understanding of where I'm coming from. Because I'm not picking on Chicago. Anybody in here or listening who's from Chicago, this is not a diss to you. I'm just acknowledging some things. Right. So yeah, there's an article. Alderman Kerry Austin pleads not guilty during arraignment on federal bribery charges. Now, Austin is a sitting member of the Chicago City Council, and she is currently under federal indictment. But she's not the only one. She's the third sitting member of the Chicago City Council who's currently under federal indictment.
Damn.
Right. So I'm like, what? So I have an article. I'm going to read some of it. It says it also, okay, so it means, and so what they're saying too is that there are the two most senior members face federal criminal charges. So that just means this stuff has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So longtime alderman. I wonder if this is the alderman that was in that screaming match with the mayor.
Right.
I don't remember that a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, but I remember that scene and I was like, what is going on? That is crazy.
Yeah. I remember.
Maybe I'm gonna look that up and see, because I think I want to put the I want to link that if that is true.
Yeah.
So it's funny, on the right side of the screen, she popped up, actually, the mayor. another article.
You see how they do? See how they do?
Oh yeah, they all over it. They all over us. So the article goes on. Longtime Alderman Kerry M. Austin, 34th, pleaded not guilty through her lawyer during her arraignment on Thursday, 1 week after she became the third sitting member of Chicago City Council to face federal indictment. Austin's chief of staff, Chester Wilson Jr., also pleaded not guilty through his lawyer. Their arraignment took place by telephone before U.S. District Judge John Ness. Austin spoke only briefly as the hearing began, answering most questions from the judge with yes, sir. A federal grand jury last week accused Austin of bribery and lying to the FBI in a 19-page indictment. They have a link to that, so I'm going to make sure to read it after the live. That indictment also charged Wilson with bribery and theft of government funds. That seems to be a running theme with these politicians. Greed.
You know, we got some out here in Vegas that's under federal investigation. City councilman and the mayor.
Don't surprise me either. Yeah.
For the same thing. Money and shit.
The mob started Vegas too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And linked to Detroit and Chicago and New York.
Yeah.
If you I've seen documentaries and it all makes sense. Shout out to Al Prophet for linking it together. We'll get into that another topic, another day.
Yeah, that's actually a good topic. It says prosecutors say a developer involved in a 50 million 91 unit development in Austin's ward sought to influence Austin and Wilson with home improvements, furniture or appliances. The developer had a deal with the city of Chicago that made his company eligible for $10.5 million in tax increment financing and other funding, and Austin and Wilson allegedly took official actions to benefit the developer, a relative and associate of his and their companies. So just a bunch of shady business. But I just got to bring it up. It's a long article, but I wanted to point it out because this is Chicago we're talking about when it comes to R. Kelly, his behaviors. We also know there's been so many stories out of Chicago that are crazy. And then, of course, we know the violence that is ongoing that we constantly hear about in the news. Those of us who aren't in the city, of course, we don't know, we're not there. I've heard, people, it's hard to speak on a city you don't live in, but I'm just going by what I see, hear, read, and all of that. Miss Della. Yeah.
Miss Della.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy hump day. Yeah. Happy hump day. So yeah, you hear what I'm saying about this these criminal entities in Chicago. She done put her mute on. JC said the corruption is everywhere. That is true.
Yeah. Yes,
that is true. But it seems to be a heavier theme in Chicago than in a lot of other places. So I just wanted to bring that up. Let's see. Hazel E. The people in Chicago have been knowing about R. Kelly. They knew before the public. And from what I've heard, they don't rep him like that. Okay. Both of Jongelin's daughters look just like her, especially Jongelin. Yeah, I know. My heart goes out to her. Yeah.
Your prayers for Joy, too. I hope that baby is okay. And return to her family. Tag communication. You only get one mother and one father.
That's true. So back to R. Kelly. Just before we get into the state indictments, which is where we left off on the crime line, we on the crime line road to conviction when it comes to R. Kelly, and we are.
I wrote my notes out too.
What was that?
I wrote my notes out on the state indictment.
Oh, okay,
I didn't get past page 18, but I got enough. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember, you said I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so first let's recap just the recent court filings because there have been a couple of, I think I covered a couple of them last live, but
yeah,
let's just real quick. I got a whole stack of papers. It's a damn shame. So we know that he brought on a new attorney. His name is, where is that man's name? Calvin H. Scholar, Esquire. He's a New York attorney. And he came on board. Wait, what? You know what? I'm just looking at the filing, and it says, I certify that I am admitted to practice in this court and that I was admitted in August of 2012 to the bar. He's 2012. It's a freaking typo. And did they accept this filing like this? Okay, well, anyway. Oh, my bad. He said he was admitted to the bar in August of 2012. My bad. Okay. So he's good. So he's basically just saying, look, I'm a practicing lawyer in this city and I'm with this case right now officially. So that happened. So this was like July 15th, about 5-6 days ago. That same day, there was a hearing in Illinois with regard to his Illinois state case, because that trial was supposed to start on September 13th, which is just a couple months from now. But the trial date has been vacated, as have all corresponding deadlines per Judge Lena Weber. And they're going to have a telephonic status hearing set for the 22nd of September at 9 a.m. And that is going to be, it says, in the interest of justice and for reasons stated on the record. So being that they're vacating the trial date, they're not vacating the trial. So anybody who is listening to anybody else about this, or who might be even reading themselves and thinking they're vacating the trial altogether, that is not the case. They're just vacating the actual trial date and any other corresponding dates that were linked. They did have some things that were set up for the jury selection and that stuff. So all that stuff is off the docket now, and their judge wants to wait and see what happens with New York before they move forward and deal with the state charges, which is what we're getting into tonight. Let me make sure what else happened on the courts. Oh, okay. Now I did mention that on the 15th was a busy day, July 15th, because they had the hearing in Illinois. There was a hearing in New York. Kanik and the other defense attorneys filed a status report complaining about the visit they had the second time they went back after getting the order from the judge that they were able to, see him during the hours and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, they were complaining in this letter, this status report, about a number of things. So they're bullet pointed, and I'll just read through them. Let's see. On July 12th, 2021, the court issued an order stating the court directs Metropolitan Detention Center to ensure that the defendant is able to meet with his counsel in a private room at MDC. MDC will ensure that these meetings can take place as frequently as the defendant and his counsel request, and for the duration that the defendant and his counsel request within the MDC's normal visiting hours. Defense counsel is directed to inform the court without delay if they face difficulties booking or having client visits. So they summarize that order before letting the court know what the deal is. And the deal is, says in accordance with the court's directive, we are writing to inform the court that defense counsel continues to encounter multiple obstacles in our efforts to prepare for trial with our client. And I think it's kind of a given that we're going to hear a lot of whining from the defense team at this point. I think they're dragging their feet to this trial. I know that if they could have more time, they would snatch it. I think that they are doing whatever they can on their end to do the work with a little bit of molasses in their shoes, and just to say they're complaining so they can maybe get something from the judge to say, well, maybe we'll extend this again. She's not going to do it though. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think she is. They tired of monkeying around. They want to get this show on the road. Let's get her done.
That's right. So they go on to say, we need to be able to review the enormous amounts of discovery with our client. I think I did read this, actually. I remember saying that, but I'll read it. Today, we are unable to bring binders, which were full of discovery materials. Now, my thing is, with as much time as they've had this stuff, because they've had it for a while, they could have had they have law offices, have interns, clerks, paralegals. There's all kinds of people who can make copies and print things. And if anything, a law office typically has, it's money to be able to buy the paper that they need. And I'm sure they have the machinery and the office, whatnots in order to carry these things out. They should have been printing stuff out for him. They're not going to give it to him all at once, and he ain't going to read. He's not like he's a speed reader. Let's keep it real. Right. So it's going to take him. You could probably give him a page every visit, a page a day. Could have been giving him a page a day for probably the last 2 years, however long they've had this stuff. So there's no real excuses for this. They trying to hurry up and run at the end of the race. They've been crawling the whole time.
They've been pussyfooting around. When the one time Lena and all them, when Doug Armstrong and all them had first came about, they went on vacations and shit and carrying on, didn't know when they was coming back, all this other bull crap. And now the time is ticking, it's getting down to the midnight oil, and now everybody want to do all this bullshit.
Exactly, Hazel, and beautiful spirit. You're right. I agree. She said they're just making excuses at this point. Let's go. Let's go on here the rest of their wine in here. We have been denied access with the necessary tools to assist us in having meaningful, productive meetings with our client. For example, we are not allowed to bring highlighters, sticky notes, markers, etc. Although these things may seem trivial to most, when preparing for trial of this magnitude, without these requests, allow a nearly impossible situation even more possible. So are they expecting R. Kelly to use the highlighter and the sticky notes? Because supposedly he can't read or write. So what are they trying to do? Are they going to use it while they're speaking to him? Because my thing is, y'all could do that on the phone and use the sticky notes and the stuff in your office. Like, I don't understand why this is just now coming up. I was going through some old documents because I have tons of folders of paperwork of all kinds of stuff from throughout these 2 years of me doing this stuff. I'm kind of a hoarder in that way. But looking at some of the documentation and the things that were coming back from the defense team as far as they're responding to things and filing this and that, they can't say that they have been stagnant in this case. They've been, like you said, pussyfooting around, because there should have been a lot more motions, in my opinion, for a case of this magnitude and a case of a celebrity of this, again, magnitude. They should have been had more filings, more this, more that, trying to get rid of charges or whatever. But
that's
no.
because they spent a lot of time trying to get him out. That's what most of the filings have been, 6 times, remember?
Yeah, but even with that, let me turn my volume up. But even with that, they didn't do a great job with that either. It's like they didn't spend no time, honestly, putting the motions together. I could have put them motions together, to be honest.
I know, but you're right. I know.
I'm just saying.
You're right. You had 2 years to prepare.
Yeah.
It seems like the most that we have heard is, how can I get him out of jail? Diabetes is one thing after another, the butt kicking and everything else.
Now, we have to remember that they are working on his behalf. Now, if you read these filings, they're always saying Mr. Kelly this and Mr. Kelly that. Mr. Kelly wants this, it's more like they're speaking, but it's like he's speaking through them. So maybe it was all coming from him about, look, just focus on getting me out. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to talk about nothing else. It's all bullshit. It's all rumors. That's all you need to know. Figure it out. I'm paying you enough or whatever. Maybe he just, who knows what it's like dealing with this guy on this type of situation. From what I have heard about this man and what I know intuitively is that he is not an easy person to deal with when things aren't going his way. So, things aren't going his way. And I'm sure he's not happy. So at this point, I think they were basically carrying out what he was telling them to do. And maybe they did go to him and say, we want to do this, we want to do that. Because I understand these motions typically cost money every filing. Maybe he didn't want to spend no money on motions. Maybe he told them, just do what you can without having to do that. Meaning, do what you can with the YouTubers. Do what you can with the victims, with the people we know about. Let's go around the back way and fix it. Fuck the motions.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Just a thought.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Right. Yeah. This thing goes on to say, we are allowed to bring in a computer, but not the charging cord that goes with it. Now, my thing again, why do you need to bring in the computer? Because if you're going to consult with him all day and all that, and has the literacy challenges that he supposedly has, they should have had already pre-printed everything, all the Post-its and this and that. If they can't bring them, bring the actual Post-its separately. Maybe they could have been already on the papers, or the highlights, maybe pre-highlight things from phone conversations that you had with him or something. I mean, you gotta think of what you're doing. Like, I just feel like they're doing this just simply to corroborate their previous arguments that they need more time. So says also here, not to mention we have no internet access while meeting with our client. As this court is aware that all the discovery and 3,500 materials for this case have been provided to the defense via external hard drives. We're not able to bring the government's provided external hard drives into the MDC, which is why you use them at your office. You print things out and you bring them to the visits. Like, I wish y'all could
Shouldn't
see.
they been highlighting and note taking and packaging up shit for him anyway since they've been on board? Like, come on.
But guess what? The two lawyers that were in charge and bossed up during this whole thing are gone. All the two men that were carrying the weight, because I was looking at all the little filings and things, and they were pretty much from Mike Leonard. He was doing a lot of the motion writing and the letter writing. All right, Miss Bella. Thank you. We must have done well tonight.
Oh, thank you, Miss Della.
Very sweet. Okay, Hazel saying they're way over their heads, seem like they're overwhelmed. They don't really know what to do. Yeah.
I agree, Miss Hazel. I agree with you.
Yeah.
They bit off more than what they could chew.
Yet they're still joining at this late in the game. Why? If it's such a challenge, why would you join? What is the meaning behind joining something like this at the last minute? I say notoriety, press, get your name out there, get business for your firm. Because what more can you do?
Right.
Unless they putting a cape on and, I don't know what you could do. Go back in time. That's the only thing you can do. Go back to before the first indictment or before their first investigation back in the 90s and fix this motherfucker. Something need to be done. He needed a good therapist, a good ass whipping or two, and I don't know. Just stay in the studio. I don't know. Let's see. We're almost done with these bullet points. If the government were required to prepare for this case without their computers, internet, iPads, tablets, and phones, perhaps we would have no room to notify this court of our concerns. However, that is clearly not the case because that would handicap the government just like it is handicapping us now. So if the government were having these issues, I'm sure they would have workarounds by this point. They want to act like just because these new attorneys are brand new to the case, that there have been no attorneys. Nicole Blank Becker, aka Tricky Nikki, is still there. She's been there the whole time. Farinella is still there with his old stuttering self. He's been there almost the whole time. So, and I think there's other attorneys that aren't even named that are on the team working with these people. So let's see. Hazel says they're probably thinking they can delay the trial like they did in 2008, but nope, that ain't gonna work. Yep. Hey, Marcus, welcome back. Yeah, JC, free advertising. That's what I say. That's a damn shame. And he's just not that smart, huh? Why did he wait so long to get rid of these guys? Like, if you were gonna do that, he could have did that a long time before, because I saw a lot of signs that his lawyers weren't the best. Like, it was obvious. Lastly, I'm sorry, what was that?
I said long time ago.
Long time ago. Like that first press conference he did.
Yeah.
It says, lastly, Mr. Kelly suffers from diabetes. He anticipated, so full-on diabetes now. He anticipated spending numerous hours with us. There are no vending machines available in the visiting room. He was denied the right to bring a candy bar down, which would prevent him from having a diabetic episode. So, the notion that Mr. Kelly I'm pretty sure too, they have vending machines. The lawyers, can't they get stuff from the vending machines? If they have a client they're working with for 8 hours, I'm pretty sure the prison, I know it's prison, but they do expect that people have to eat at some point. Like, come on. That's crazy. Let's see. The notion that Mr. Kelly can receive a fair trial based on these circumstances is not practical. This thwarts our ability to have private, meaningful, unfettered access to our client and for Mr. Kelly to meaningfully assist in his defense. They want him to meaningfully assist, but he hasn't been doing so thus far, apparently. From what I can tell, he ain't been cooperating at all. That's what I know from this. Either that or Greenberg and them just didn't pay him no mind for 2 years. Which one is it? Child. So the other filing on the 15th came from the government, and they, I'll just read the first paragraph. It says, application having been made on behalf of the United States of America by Assistant United States Attorney Nadia Shihada for an order authorizing the government to disclose the affidavit in support of an application for a search warrant for the person known and described as our Robert Sylvester Kelly, date of birth January 8th, 1967, filed under seal docket this, that, and the other to defense counsel in the above captioned manner. It's hereby, oh, this is the actual order. It's hereby ordered the government may furnish copies of the 21 this and that affidavit to defense counsel in the above captioned manner. So it's a limited unsealing order. They wanted to unseal the affidavit in support of an application for a search warrant. And that is because apparently Marshall showed up to the court to get a DNA sample from R. Kelly during the hearing. And the judge granted it because she had no choice. It was in the it was already a thing. So it was under seal though, but so that happened. Okay, I think that's it as far as catching up. And then we can get on to the first. So there were 2 state indictments following the okay, my bad. I did forget something. Hey Aisha, welcome back, huh? All right, so on July 19th, it was filed and entered a that motions in limine, which are motions that allow the attorneys to put charges up that they feel should be dismissed. So this is basically giving them extra time to file these motions, and they have until the 23rd, which is 2 days from now. So if they want to dismiss any charges, they have 2 more days to file the motions for consideration of that. She went on to say that oppositions to those motions, should any be filed, are due by July 30th. So the government will have 1 week to respond to any motions in limine that are filed, should they be filed. It says here, no further extension will be granted without good cause shown. So she's like, don't ask me for no more extensions. And it says any future extension request should comply with the court's individual practices and rules, signed by Judge M. Donnelly on 7/19. So it to me sounds like they're not really complying with the rules, but she got to remind them to do that.
Right. God damn, it's like a daycare. The judge got to hold his hand and babysit him. God.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, all that happened in a day, like on the 15th. Popping. What was going on 15th astrologically? I'm gonna have to look. So on to well, real quick, I guess I didn't bring up the fact that thanks to Beautiful Spirit for sending me this information. Let me actually didn't even add this. Hold on.
Boopity boopity boop.
Boop, 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 boop. All right, so
I'm getting better with copying the link.
Yeah, did good. So yep, R. Kelly got slapped with yet another tax lien, this one $2 million while he's in jail waiting trial, as you know, in Brooklyn. And
that's the $2 million that Greenberg was denying about when no IRS coming and all that. See how they be lying
all the time. All right.
I was wondering how long it was gonna take for the IRS to slap him with that. Damn.
Yeah, let me pull up this article real quick.
And I recall Greenberg saying, go ahead and let my client go. He's not going to go anywhere because he owes the IRS money. He would never leave the country.
Yeah, right.
Just like he lied and said, no federal investigation, no discovery, no, ain't got no email. Nobody told me. Whole time sitting on this shit.
That's what I mean about the fact that he should have been gone, because he'd been saying stuff, and I know that man knew he was out there. Maybe, like I said, he didn't care because I think he was too worried about what he was really doing behind the scenes with the Lilies and the Dons and all the different people that worked on his behalf. He was more invested in that rather than his lawyers. I think his lawyers for him were just the face that I'm handling this legally and properly, when really he's behind the scenes blowing up cars or, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
doing all this other shit.
That's here from Radar Online. Disgraced singer R. Kelly slapped with a $2 million tax lien while locked up in jail waiting trial. R. Kelly is being accused of screwing Uncle Sam out of millions, and they want him to cough up the cash ASAP. According to court documents obtained by Radar, the Internal Revenue Service filed a lien against Kelly. Oh, this is it says earlier this year. So I don't know if we knew about that actually. Earlier this year. When was this? This was today. Okay, so it's still recent. The lien says the disgraced singer refused to pay $1,935,34.88 for the year of 2008. Oh, he was busy in 2008. He should have been paying all his bills in 2008 when he got out, when he knew he wasn't going to jail now. Of course he didn't.
Chasing a little cooch.
Too busy doing too much that he shouldn't have been doing still. Yeah. All right. It says the lien was placed against him, his former Illinois mansion, which he hasn't owned in years.
Damn.
The IRS warns Kelly if he doesn't pay up on the bill, they will be again seizing his assets and property. Not that R. Kelly is scared, since there isn't much to go around at the moment. They got jokes. It says last year, the alleged sex predator was hit with a separate federal tax lien, and that's the one I was thinking about, because the one from last year says the IRS said he owed $1.8 million for the years 2013 and 2016, and was accused of owing $648,998.25 for 2013, and another $1,229,739.18 for 2016. The grand total of the lien came to $1,878,737.43. The lien has yet to be released, and the debt remains unpaid.
Okay, I'm a little bit slow. When they say tax lien, what does that mean? Like he owe back taxes, or?
Yeah, when you owe them taxes, they put a lien on you. That means they freezing you up. Like,
oh, okay, all right, got it.
I personally I don't know. So if anybody has any more details aside from just Googling it, let us know. But I just know that a tax lien is when you owe the IRS and they leaning on you, basically.
But you know what? He had a lot of balls to continue. He had a lot of balls to continue to make money since 2008. Over the years, God have given him so many chances on taxes, on staying free, on righting his wrongs and everything else, and he still didn't fucking do it.
To this day.
I told you after he got out of that 2008 trial, he should have kissed the ground. But instead, he just lost it.
You know, and I want to say, R. Kelly, if you listen to this, if you ever decide to kiss the ground, please kiss the ground on the freeway when it's actually like rush hour. Please. Right. Thank you. It says the grand total.
That killer sun is out to obstruct your vision.
It says the grand total for Kelly's total tax debt, drum roll, is $3,813,772.31. Even before his recent arrest, Kelly had issues paying his bills. In 2012, the IRS said he owed them $5 million in back taxes.
God damn.
In his current criminal case, prosecutors questioned Kelly's claim he was broke. They claimed to have learned Kelly had diverted his royalty payments to a childhood friend. They feared he would flee the country, saying they believed he secretly had resources. Yeah, there it is. Kelly denied the claim, saying he had limited financial resources and no future income coming in. As Radar previously reported, at the moment, the chocolate factory artist is preparing to go to trial in New York in August. I'll just go ahead and finish this out. In the past couple of weeks, Kelly was pleading with the judge to allow him out before the trial. He claimed the jail officials weren't allowing him proper time with his legal team. As a result, he claimed he was unable to prepare his defense in the case. Kelly also cried about the conditions inside the jail and promised to be good if released. A judge has yet to be persuaded by his plea.
Hey, remember when he told the judge that he promised he would be good because Azriel was done with him and Aaliyah is no longer here on earth? So you basically told the judge if they wasn't done with you and if Aaliyah still was living, then you would be really a danger. But since this is a different situation, that's the only reason why you're not a danger. Then what kind of mess is that?
That's his kind of mess. That sounds just like his kind of mess. That's what he does. All right, let's get to this indictment. There's two.
I'm sorry. What kind of monster goes around and normally gives somebody herpes? I'm sorry. Keep going.
That monster?
That one, yeah. All right, I think it's this one.
It ain't no telling how, and it's a whole bunch of other ones, but with the level of celebrity status that he was on over the years, oh my gosh, been faking the funk. He a wankster.
Right? Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Before we get into this real quick, let me just show. Geronda Pace tweeted. I saw this on Lipstick Alley. It's interesting to me. She said a lot of people will be blocked from my page now that R. Kelly trial is coming up. It's become a circus. Well, it's been a circus, but she said, don't tag me in shit. Don't message me about shit. Keep that shit to yourself. If I want to share something, I will. Boom. Let them know, Geronda. I'm pretty sure all the people who are known to be accusers and who will be testifying are getting some type of harassment that we aren't aware of.
Especially on social media. She got to focus on her pregnancy and have a healthy delivery, you know?
Yeah, she's about to have a baby. Oh, man. Okay, so here we go. So this was filed on, this is an information indictment return sheet, and this is from March 8th, 2019. And this is, no arrest, it says. It says, there's another date down here, 2/22. Okay, I think that's the date of the indictment. Okay, let's go down here. It says the February 2019 grand jury of the Circuit Court of Cook County. Now, you know that an indictment typically doesn't take place unless there's a grand jury hearing. So they can get, the judge has to sign off on an indictment. They have to prove that these charges are credible charges. Right. So for anybody who says these things are trumped up, they're fake, they're this, and you have to know that these things go through a bit of a ringer before they're in an indictment. So, this is count one. So how many counts is in this one? I think this is 10 counts, the initial one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is count one. It is, okay, let me just read it. The grand jurors chosen, selected, and sworn in and for the county of Cook in the state of Illinois in the name and by the authority of the people of the United of Illinois upon their oaths present that on or about February 18th, 2003 at and within the county of Cook. Robert Kelly committed the offense of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in that he knowingly committed an act of sexual conduct upon LC, initials LC, to wit, Robert Kelly transmitted his semen onto LC's body for the purpose of Robert Kelly's or LC's sexual gratification or arousal by the use of force or threat of force, and the criminal sexual abuse was perpetrated during the course of the attempted commission of any other felony, to wit, criminal sexual assault by Robert Kelly. And we're not gonna, I don't want to name the people, because I think we know the names. If you watch Surviving R. Kelly, I think you would know. I think part 2 for this one. I don't want to give too much.
Yeah, but part 2.
It goes on to say, and the statute of limitations for this prosecution is extended pursuant to 720 Illinois compiled statutes. 720 Illinois compiled statutes, Act 5, Section 3 to 6, 2000, in that LC reported this offense to law enforcement within 2 years of the commission of the offense, and that this prosecution could have been commenced within 10 years of the commission of the offense. And this prosecution may be commenced at any time pursuant to that 720 Illinois compiled statutes, Act 5, and that Robert Kelly's DNA profile was entered into a DNA database with 10 years of the commission of the offense, and LC reported the offense to law enforcement within 3 years of the commission of the offense. So let's repeat that. Robert Kelly's DNA profile was entered into a DNA database within 10 years of the commission of the offense, and LC reported the offense into law enforcement within 3 years of the offense. Earlier up, it says 2 years, but I just want to make that point because there's another YouTuber, the one who cheerleads him and gaslights those people over there, telling them, oh, this is such a good thing. He's, doing so good. He's coming out. When, no, things like this state the obvious and the opposite, because this YouTuber stated when the marshals came in to get a DNA sample from R. Kelly at court the other day, she said, so they lied. They'd never had his DNA, or otherwise why would they come get it at court like that? And I think we talked about this, and I said something like, well, first of all, they probably wanted to make sure it was him behind that mask, as sneaky as he is. And then, there's a lot of reasons why they wanted a fresh sample. Maybe they want to check his blood to see if he really does have diabetes. I don't know if they can do that, but they need to check his blood to see everything that's going on, because blood work is going to tell you a whole story.
It is. Hair, blood, everything. Go take you all the way back to your ancestors, baby.
Okay. All right. And then so count one. So this one also says count one. I guess this is a continuation of count one. It says Robert Kelly committed the offense of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in that he knowingly committed an act of sexual conduct upon LC. Okay, this looks like a repeat of the one above. I'm going to scroll down. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this one is upon their oaths present that between May 26, 1998 and May 25th, 1999, at and within the county of Cook, Robert Kelly committed the offense of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in that he knowingly committed an act of sexual penetration upon HW, to wit, contact between Robert Kelly's penis and HW's mouth, and HW was at least 13 years of age, but under 17 years of age, and Robert Kelly was at least 5 years older than HW. And the statute of limitations for this prosecution is extended. It's the same speak, but let me actually say, and that HW was under the age of 18 at the time of the offense, and Robert Kelly was not a family member, and HW had until she attained the age of 21 to report the offense to law enforcement. And the statute of limitations for this prosecution is extended pursuant to the same things as before, in that HW was under the age of 18 at the time of the offense, and this prosecution has commenced within 10 years of HW's 18th birthday. And the statute of limitations for this prosecution is extended at the time of the offense, and this prosecution, she was under 18 at the time of the offense, and the prosecution was commenced within 20 years of HW's 18th birthday, because the statute of limitations was extended. Okay, let's scroll down. Did you have your notes or any commentary or whatever? Feel free.
I noticed how they titled it the special May indictment. Like, I noticed that was different. Also, they said victim number 1, which was page 6, was age 12 or 13, between 12 and 13 years of age. I noticed on page 14, they mentioned LaShawna Lanfear's father he wired $30,000 to him. See, this was all part of that one discovery list when they found his what was it called, Sunkiss or some bank account and stuff. And they found out a lot of Western Unions and stuff, and his personal initials that he write with little heart. He gave the Yukon truck, signed the title over, and all that good stuff. So, and this was all in like 2014, 2015. He was still paying off the Lanfear family.
Yeah, they have all of that too in the
Yeah,
evidence.
and McDavid name and June Brown and all them was mentioned. And I didn't go past page 18, but I noticed they retitled it. You
Okay,
know.
well, I'm still, yeah, we only on page 11. So this is still pertaining to HW, and this
Okay.
time frame for this is May 26, 98 and May 25th, 99. And it says that Robert Kelly knowingly committed an act of sexual conduct upon HW, to wit, Robert Kelly touched his penis to HW's breast for the purpose of Robert Kelly or HW's sexual gratification or arousal. And HW was at least 13 years, but under 17 at the time. He was at least 5 years older. And it goes on to state the extended statute of limitations to 10 years and then to 20 from her 18th birthday. And let's see, that is count 3. Okay, that's a copy. Looks like a duplicate of that. Okay, this is yet another. I'm just making sure I'm not duplicating things. Okay, so much count 3. Okay. Okay. So here we go. The dates we're dealing with now are between May 1st, 2009 and January 31st, 2010. And Robert Kelly knowingly committed an act of sexual penetration upon JP, to wit, contact between Robert Kelly's penis and JP's mouth. And JP was at least 13 years of age, but under 17. And Robert Kelly was at least 5 years older. And it, it's the same speak as the previous. This one goes on to say, I think this is a duplicate of that. Says he knowingly committed an act. This is, okay, maybe this one is different. Hold on. Okay, so count 2 of JP's charges. He was knowingly committed an act of sexual penetration upon JP, contact between Robert Kelly's penis and JP's sex organ, and JP was at least 13 years of age, but under 17, while he was at least 5 years older. And then count 3 for JP is stating that Robert Kelly transmitted semen onto JP's body for the purpose of Robert Kelly's or JP's sexual gratification or arousal. And JP was at least 13 years of age, but under the age of 17. And he was at least 5 years older. So there's a definite pattern here with the different alleged victims or survivors. Okay, we stated that one. Count 1, count 2, count 3. All right. So, next charge. This is from September 26, 1998, and this is between September 26, 1998 and September 25th, 2001. And this is stating that Robert Kelly knowingly committed an act of sexual penetration upon RL, and that contact between Robert Kelly's penis and RL's mouth, and RL was at least 13 years of age, but under 17. He was at least 5 years older. Okay, talks about the extended statutes of limitations. Okay. Count 2, he knowingly committed an act of sexual penetration upon RL, contact between Robert Kelly's penis and RL's sex organ, and RL was at least 13 years of age, but under 17, and he was at least 5 years older. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's count 1 again. Okay. So that's all that's here. 36 pages. So any thoughts?
That's good. That's a lot. I noticed it's a little bit more detail now, which they said that was expected. When I remember hearing it was saying like you keep up with the case, a lot of things will be either rewritten, like redone paperwork and unsealed information and everything. The closer you get to the trial. So he got state and federal charges, and no state not budging at all. He's not going anywhere. He's just done. Just done. It's over.
I'm in the chat. Let's see. I'm sorry, I had to back up because I had missed a lot of stuff. So we're back to actually previous to Miss Della giving us some money.
Miss Della.
Miss Della, we're gonna start calling you Money Bag Yo.
Don't
Double
call
bag
me that.
Della.
That's
Double
not
bag.
true.
Throw it in the bag.
Embrace it.
True.
Embrace it.
Miss Della, do you have a lottery where you at? Everybody need to play lottery. Play the lottery.
Oh, Kim got some insight for some people who play lottery. Kim knows something.
I don't have a number book, but when I tell people that,
do you think that we can talk about that offline?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, back to this R. Kelly indictment. Oh, what does this say? Miss Hazel say. So what you're saying is that we would have tried to hurt us. Yeah, that's what in other words, that's what he was saying, Miss Hazel. They claim he said that when he was in Chicago over the phone. I forgot who he was talking to from the jail phone, and that's the reason why he should be, released and trusted. And I just, that's ridiculous.
Super ridiculous.
To me, that was incriminating itself right then and there.
So let me get through some of these comments here because I want to make sure, because you guys be having some good little nuggets up in here. Aisha, it was Devontae Cunningham that alluded that he was stalking Aaliyah. That's why I'm thinking it might be true if he said some bull crap like that. Beautiful Spirit revealed. Oh, yeah. JC said it means if they put a lien on your house and you default on what's owed, they will take it. Yeah. And sell it to get some of their money. Mm-hmm.
Did he ever really own anything? Like he didn't ever really buy a home. He just was leasing and renting everything over a 30-year career. Like,
well, if he owes taxes on that house, he must have owned it. I'm thinking
he lost it. Remember, one house got stolen. He lost the other house. That's what I'm saying.
A house got stolen. You mean the stuff?
The stuff in the house got stolen, but he moved out of there, so that means that wasn't his.
Okay.
Well, why is he? So how is he penalized for the taxes?
He pissed away so much money. He could have had one of those houses and paid for. I mean, this man was probably. Can you imagine how much money he was making?
Yeah, because if the record label made about $1 billion off of him alone, he was really making money. But it's sad because he don't have nothing to show for it. I mean, damn, you couldn't even buy a $20,000 house off the city for your kids.
Exactly. Exactly. So you had nothing to then you wind up moving in Trump Tower, giving somebody else money.
And then he didn't even have them units in his name, from what they saying.
There's a reason why all that is. You can't take something if you don't have nothing in your name.
Yep, then that's what he called himself doing while he was up there hollering about it's too late, it's too late. They should have called me 30 years ago.
And Queen Keish, it is absolute. It's horrible that we're actually sitting here talking about 12 and 13-year-old children that a grown man is sleeping with. These children. I don't care what nobody say. 12 and 13 years old is just it's too young. I'm a little hyper tonight. I really don't want to be.
It's okay.
But I read JP's
if that's what gets
book.
You speaking, then we'll take it.
Yeah.
If that's what gets you, I said if that's what gets you speaking or talking, then we'll take it.
So I read JP's book. I was a little upset today.
I shouldn't have sent it to you today. I should have waited.
It makes you feel like I feel so sorry for her. it takes a lot to write all of that. I will hope that all of that is 100% true. But if for you to grow up like that, be manipulated like that, and I just pray to God that, you know, hopefully none of us have to ever live like that or ever have to experience something like that. So I mean, I'm this trial got to go. It has to continue. 12 and 13-year-old, it is horrible. I think about my niece. You know, I think about my niece and a grown man on top of my niece. It ain't gonna go well. So I'm sorry
he
for
ain't
being
walking away.
emotional. So I'm sorry. I apologize for that. That's not
No,
me.
don't apologize. But to Queen Keisha's question, yes, there's another minor also, HW. So,
and remember, Michael Avenatti said, you know, regardless if he in jail or not, but remember he said he had another tape. We're not talking about the initial horrible tape that I got scraped out my brain. So yes, there is another one. He said that, and the child said it 10 times on that. Carlos, I'll find that for you and gift you that one too.
Yeah.
How many times did she say her 10-year-old pussy? How she repeated that on there.
Yeah. And then
horrible.
remember y'all also as well, the 13-year-old victim that was identified in a tape that Gloria already had for another victim that she's representing at once upon a time. This victim was in Chicago that identified the 13-year-old girl from Detroit, and they took a while to find her. She was 13 at the time when R. Kelly had, did the sexual acts with her up until the age of 17. She was 17 when she retrieved her. Gloria already flew her out to California last year, and now she's representing that young lady. She's 30 years old, I believe, or 31 by now, but she's representing her now.
Are you talking about HW?
No, they never gave initials for the Detroit victim.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted
but Gloria already is representing her now. Before she wasn't. Okay. But this was according to one of those tapes with the same young girl that Ms. Della is speaking about. And so, and this person had left the state of Michigan, this victim, years ago, and she confirmed a lot of things that was in whatever this tape. I don't know which victim it is, but now Miss Gloria has that victim as well. They said it would never reveal her name. She said that she was harassed. She was scared of him for years, and stalked by Mr. R. Kelly and his goons. So it's something, y'all. That's deep.
I'm gonna put the link to this indictment, to both indictments actually, in the description box real quick. Give me 1 second, because I know some of y'all probably just want to read this for yourself.
Yeah, it's good to have.
Yeah, it's online. So I just Googled it, but let me throw it in here real quick.
Can you imagine what the prosecutors have with all the stuff that we done collected over this course of time?
All those tapes with him and men and all kind of stuff on there. They probably just went home and just went straight to the bottle. Had a rough day at the job, honey.
Has it been confirmed? And that I haven't been able to find in black and white. Was it really male victims, or or I don't know if I remember correctly if Avalani said it was 4 male victims that he was representing, but don't quote me on that 100%. I'm not sure.
So I'm gonna go right back to that child's book, and I'm gonna say allegedly, sleeping with men. Like I said, I don't want to put nothing out here until everything comes out in the open, and it will. It's too much. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody read that they got over 100 and something tapes. You heard every last one of those girls who don't know each other to say they like to be videotaped. Everybody with a phone, with an iPad, or whatever.
Well, I'll put the links in the description box. Anybody who's interested. So that was the first state indictment, and as you know, there were additional charges brought upon him by the state, And these charges were also against Daryl McDavid and Milton Brown. This so the first indictment came in February, right after the docuseries aired in January. He got indicted in February, and in May he was indicted again.
Do anybody remember, God is done? I wonder, in this state indictment, we didn't hear an update. Remember when they said it was a 16-year-old that went to a concert that he flew in from Rhode Island, came forward? I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken, for Rhode Island. They said she was 16 at the time, and he flew her. She saw him in concert, and she came forward, and they said the evidence and text messages and everything, and the FaceTime and stuff that she provided to the grand jury was without a shot of a doubt, y'all.
I remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that.
This says under seal, so at one point it was under seal.
Right.
This is the grand jury. The grand jury hearing in May allowed for these additional charges, and I guess we'll just go through. It says Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, defendant herein, did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, namely video 1. And defendant knew or had reason to know that such visual depiction would be transported in interstate or foreign commerce or mailed, or such visual depiction was actually transported in interstate or foreign commerce or mailed. This is that Mann Act stuff. Count 2, special May 2019 grand jury further charges. Between approximately September 26 and 9, what's wrong with you guys? September 26, 1998 and September 25th, 1999 at Chicago in the Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division. Robert Sylvester Kelly, known as R. Kelly, defendant herein, did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, namely video 2. So there's a second video. Okay. Email me anything that you want me to play. You know who you are. Okay, so there's a second video with minor 1. So there's 2 videos. It says, goes on to say there's a third count, and saying between September 26, 1998 and September 25th, 1999, Chicago District of Illinois, Northern Eastern Division, says minor, let's see, I'm trying to not have to read the same thing, but I guess I will. R. Kelly, defendant herein, did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, namely video 3. So there's a third video, and defendant knew or had reason to know that such visual depiction would be transported. Okay, so this is about the tapes. Count 4, special jury in May 2019, in or around 1998 at Chicago and Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division. Goes on to say there's, okay, so let me just say this again. He did knowingly employ, use, persuade, induce, entice, and coerce a minor, namely minor 1, to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, namely video 4. And the defendant knew or had reason to know that such visual depiction would be transported in interstate or foreign commerce. So video. So there's a fourth video. Now I remember previously they said they knew of a fourth video, but this says there is a fourth video. Let's see. So count 5, number 1.
Wow.
Count 5, number 1. At times, material to this indictment, A, defendant Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, was a resident of Chicago, Illinois, and was a Grammy Award-winning recording artist and record producer. Kelly was the president and manager of several businesses, each located in Chicago in the Northern District of Illinois, that he maintained in furtherance of his music career, including but not limited to Bass Productions Ltd. And RSK Enterprises LLC. They're going to further call these the Kelly businesses. It says B, from in or around June 1991, in or around January 2014, Kelly and or one or more of the Kelly businesses employed defendant Daryl McDavid as a business manager. McDavid was a principal at Winkler and McDavid Ltd., located in Oak Park, Illinois. As a manager for Kelly, McDavid was involved in providing services to Kelly, which services were in part intended to protect Kelly's image, reputation, and assets in the face of actual and potential criminal and civil actions involving individuals who were victims of sexual misconduct by R. Kelly. C, from at least approximately 1997 to at least approximately June 2018, Milton Brown, also known as June Brown, was employed by Kelly and or one or more of the Kelly businesses. So this is broken down. We have letter D, minor 1, met Kelly in or around 1996 or 97 when minor 1 was approximately 12 or 13 years old. E, minor 2, met Kelly in or around 1997 when minor 2 was approximately 17 years old. Minor F, minor 3, met Kelly in or around 1996 when minor 3 was approximately 15 years old. G, minor 4, met Kelly in or around 1999 when minor 4 was approximately 16 years old. H, minor 5, met Kelly in or around 1997 or 98 when minor 5 was approximately 13 or 14 years old. Kelly was born in 1967. That's I. J, Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts, and those terms are defined in Title 18, section this and that, with minor 1, minor 2, minor 3, minor 4, and minor 5 when they were each under the age of 18. K, between in or around 1998 and in or around 2002, Kelly recorded himself on video engaging in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors, including minor 1, minor 2, minor 4, and minor 5. Number 1, video 1, video 2, video 3, and video 4 depict Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor 1 when minor 1 was under the age of 18. M, in approximately April 2000, the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services began to investigate whether Kelly was sexually abusing minor 1. Okay, so we did have the Department of Children and Family Services investigating at this time. And letter N, on or about June 5th, 2002, a grand jury of the Circuit Court of Cook County indicted our indictment charging R. Kelly in the case of People of the State of Illinois versus R. Kelly with 21 counts of child pornography. And of course, this is the initial indictment that garnered that trial in 2008. It says with 21 counts of child pornography relating to video 1 and minor 1, the case was tried into a jury beginning May 20th, 2008. And on June 13, 2008, Kelly was acquitted of the charges. Number 2, beginning in approximately 2000 and continuing to the date of the return of this indictment at Chicago in the Northern District of Illinois and elsewhere, Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, and Daryl McDavid did knowingly conspire with each other. Individual A and others known and unknown to the grand jurors to commit an offense against the United States, namely to knowingly alter, destroy, mutilate, conceal, cover up, falsify, and make a false entry in any record, document, and tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, and influence the investigation and proper administration of any matter within the jurisdiction of any department or agency of the United States and in relation to the contemplation of such matter or case. All right, so tangible object are the tapes. And then, of course, if there's any other things surrounding that, that they use to seal this stuff up, they have it. Check stubs, all kind of stuff.
Did y'all know that they said mutilate?
Yeah, can't try to get rid of something now if it's a criminal a piece of evidence.
Yeah, they damaging evidence, as Tricky Nikki say.
Tricky Nikki. He says, with so much corruption, it's a good idea that they make sure the right person gave the last sample. That's right. And not some fan making a switch. I agree with that. He says, disgusting. He needs life with no parole. 12 and 13, he's sick. Absolutely. Hazel E. Agreed. It's so disgusting. Absolutely. Hey, Daddy's girl. Welcome back. All right. Okay, let's get back. This is sickening to read, but I'll read it. Number 3, it was part of the conspiracy that Kelly McDavid and others knew of Kelly's sexual contact and sexual acts with minors and knew that Kelly recorded himself engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors on videotape. It was further, number 4, it was further part of the conspiracy that in approximately 2001, Kelly and McDavid learned that multiple videos depicting Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors were missing from Kelly's collection of such videos. All right. Now, number 5, it was further part of that conspiracy that in order to conceal and cover up the existence of videos from investigators, Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to collect the missing videos that depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors. Number 6, it was further part of the conspiracy that Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to pay money and caused money to be paid on Kelly's behalf to victims, witnesses, and others to ensure they would not cooperate with law enforcement and would conceal and cover up evidence, including videos related to Kelly's sexual contact and sexual acts with minors, such as the following. Letter A. Between approximately 2001 and approximately 2009, Kelly, McDavid, and individual A and others caused individual B to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for obtaining and returning multiple videos that they knew depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor. Letter B. And we're not, again, going to be saying who's what. I think I know who that is, but the individuals, I mean. All right. Letter B. In approximately early 2007, Kelly and McDavid agreed to pay minor 2 approximately $250,000 in return for a videotape they knew depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor 1 and minor 2. Letter C. In approximately 2007, Kelly and McDavid paid minor 2 and individual C each approximately $100,000 in exchange for their efforts to return to Kelly videotapes that they knew depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor 1 and 2. Letter D, as a condition of being paid money for returning videotapes that depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact with acts and acts with minors, Kelly and McDavid directed minor 2, individual B, and individual C to take polygraph examinations regarding whether they had returned all copies of such videotapes. Letter E, in approximately June of 2008, after learning that individual B planned to announce at a press conference that he had recovered videos depicting Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors, Kelly, McDavid, and others paid individual B approximately $170,000 to cancel the press conference. So, and mind you, June 2008, the trial was in May. So this might have been before the sentence came down, but this was definitely around the time where he was in the hot seat. Number 7, it was further part of the conspiracy that Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to intimidate, threaten, pressure, persuade, and attempt to persuade other individuals, included but not limited to minor 1, minor 1's parents, minor 2, and minor 5, to falsify and make false entry into a record, document, and tangible object related to Kelly's sexual contact with minors, such as the following. Letter A, in approximately December 2000, pursuant to instructions that minor 1 received from Kelly, minor 1 falsified and caused a false entry to be made in a police report when minor 1 denied to law enforcement officers that Kelly engaged in a sexual relationship with minor 1. B, approximately May 2002, McDavid instructed minor 1's father to provide knowingly false testimony to the Cook County grand jury investigating Kelly's sexual relationship with minor one. McDavid instructed minor one's father to deny that video depicted minor one engaged in sexual acts with Kelly, when McDavid knew the video did depict minor one engaged in sexual acts with Kelly. As instructed, minor one's father falsely denied to the grand jurors that video one depicted Kelly and minor one, his daughter, by the way. And I'll just throw a hint for this one. This man just passed away. We just talked about his memorial at the top of this live stream.
Yeah.
Letter C. In approximately May 2002, Kelly persuaded minor one to provide knowingly false testimony to the Cook County grand jury investigating Kelly's sexual relationship with minor one. Minor one falsely denied to the grand jurors that Kelly engaged in a sexual relationship with minor one and that minor one was not depicted on video one, thus creating a false record and a false entry in a record, document, and tangible object. And this goes on to just explain how he continued to persuade them to deny things in testimony, which is illegal. So letter D, it says in approximately May 2002, Kelly attempted to persuade minor 5 to provide knowingly false testimony to the Cook County grand jury investigating Kelly's sexual relationship with minor 1, and that Kelly instructed minor 5 to testify falsely she did not recognize minor 1 on video. So they got a couple of lying people that have recanted in this indictment. I didn't realize it was more out. I was outside of the family, or unless that's a family member of minor ones. No, because that's minor. That's a minor. So no, minor 5. Okay. Letter E. On or about July 26, 2007, Kelly and McDavid directed that minor 2 meet with a lawyer. And I think that might be Tricky Nikki. Is that what that might be? That conflict of interest? Maybe. I don't know.
Just might.
That directed that minor 2 meet with a lawyer, and that minor 2 falsely denied that minor 2 and Kelly ever engaged in sexual acts together with minor 1 and minor 2. When Kelly and McDavid knew that Kelly had engaged in these sexual acts with minor 1 and minor 2, Kelly and McDavid intended a false record, document, and tangible object was prepared to base upon minor 2's false statements. And it was further part of the conspiracy that Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to intimidate, threaten, pressure, persuade, and provide benefits and money to victims' family members, witnesses, and others to ensure that they would destroy, conceal, cover up, falsify, and make false entry in a record, document, and tangible object to continue to abide by previous false statements and entries in such items relating to Kelly's sexual contact with and acts with minors, such as the following. Approximately January and February. So this is all, some of this stuff is before he even had his trial. So all the time, well, after he was indicted and he was waiting on his trial, he's doing all this manipulation. Well, obviously, because he wants to not be convicted, and it worked in his favor then. But now it's coming back to bite him. Yeah, it says that they caused minor 1 and minor 1's parents to travel to foreign countries to make them unavailable to law enforcement investigating minor 1's sexual relationship with Kelly and video 1. So I knew that was I thought it was a rumor, but maybe it was true. Remember they were saying that he had sent them to Germany.
Yeah, and I think.
Yeah, because she was in that group without a cause, I think, or whatever. But yeah, they said that in Germany, I think the age of consent is 14 there. I think he probably wished he would have moved there himself. So it says letter B, from at least approximately 2000 to 2015, Kelly and McDavid made payments to and bought gifts for minor 1 and minor 1's parents with the intent to persuade and induce minor 1 and minor 1's parents to conceal, cover, falsify, make false entry, and all of that. Letter C, between approximately January 14th and approximately October 15th, Kelly caused monthly payments to be made to minor 1 via the Kelly businesses, many of which contain settlement in the transaction line or something similar. Oh, wow. Kelly made these payments to ensure that minor 1 continued to abide by her false payments. So these are ongoing payments and they have the proof. They wrote the dang reason in the memo line on the check. That is insane.
This is to keep your mouth shut.
Basically, they should just put that in there. This is blood.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
Gotta be the dumbest criminal.
Wow. I used to work for a franchise where franchisees would have to, they send their monthly payments for the facility, and this one franchisee used to always put blood money on the memo of his checks. Wow. And I always wonder, how is he saying blood money when they were gyms, gym facilities. Like, you got a gym, what are you paying for it? What is the problem? Anyway, letter D, in approximately 2014 and 2015, McDavid received payments from Kelly relating to services he provided to protect Kelly's image, reputation, and assets in the face of actual and potential criminal and civil actions by individuals who were victims of sexual misconduct by Kelly, including services that McDavid provided to falsify and create a false entry in record, document, and tangible object, and services that McDavid provided to conceal and cover up evidence of Kelly's sexual contact and sexual acts with minors.
They said McDavid sued him at one time, and then got rehired and stayed employed.
That might be what they're talking about, because they got that check. It's like a big check, like $1 million or $2 million or something, right?
Yeah, it's like, you sued me, I fired you, I hired you back, and I still got to pay the settlement.
That's the mess. That's R. Kelly, though. So there's a couple of more of these before we get to the overacts, but it says number 9, it was further part of the conspiracy that Kelly used physical abuse, violence, threats of violence, blackmail, and other controlling behaviors against victims so that Kelly could maintain control over them, prevent them from providing evidence to law enforcement, and persuade them to continue to abide by prior false statements relating to Kelly's sexual contact with minors and videos of such contact. Number 10, it was further part of the conspiracy that Kelly, McDavid, individual A, and others concealed and hid and caused to be concealed and hidden the existence of and acts done in furtherance of the conspiracy. So there's another section called the overacts. And let me see something.
Overact.
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to debate, am I going to finish this? Because I don't know if I'm going to finish this today. But let me see where I lost my place. Here we go. I'll start out just so we can put our foot in it a little bit. But the overacts, number 11, in furtherance of the conspiracy and to accomplish the objectives of the conspiracy, defendants committed one or more overacts in the Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, and elsewhere, which overt acts included but were not limited to the following. A, in approximately March or April of 2007, McDavid, on Kelly's behalf, received from minor 2 and individual C a videotape that McDavid and Kelly knew depicted Kelly. Okay, so this is them retrieving the videotapes that they sought after. Letter B, approximately March or April 2007, McDavid, on Kelly's behalf, brought minor 2 and individual C a polygraph examiner and directed that minor 2 and individual C take polygraph examinations. So these overt acts are the things they did outside of the norm, like they went out over and beyond to continue this conspiracy, this cover-up stuff. Letter C says that in September 2008, Kelly caused a Base Productions check signed by McDavid to be issued to minor 1's father, payable in the amount of $30,000. 2008, after the trial. Letter D, in approximately August 2013, Kelly caused Base Productions to transfer title of a GMC Yukon Denali to minor 1. And that is such a cheap gift.
Right.
Serious right now. And $30,000, and that was after I think he was sentenced or that he was acquitted. So once it's all said and done, Pops got that $30,000 check. He should have been $3 million. I mean, It should have. There is no cost. There is no price. His daughter was worth $30,000 in a Yukon Denali. Wow.
A used Yukon, boy.
Exactly, a transfer of title. Definitely a used car. A lemon.
Okay.
Letter E. In approximately 2014, Kelly caused a wire transfer in the amount of $80,000 to be paid to McDavid. Oh, there it is. Through his firm, Winkler and McDavid. Letter F. In approximately October 2014, Kelly caused a RSK Enterprises check to be issued to minor one, payable in the amount of $1,150 or $1,150 with the notation personal -RK in the memo line. Still giving her payments. $1,100?
Yeah.
Letter G. In approximately October 2015, Kelly caused a wire payment to be made from RSK. What is that? Somebody cooking?
No, I'm sorry. I had to give me a Kleenex.
Okay. I can't see.
I wonder, did her parents ever apologize to her, especially her mother? Like,
her mother, she still got time.
Yeah. Like, we should have protected you. So I'm so sorry. Like, I just wondered.
So letter H. In approximately December 2015, Kelly caused a wire payment in the amount of $100,000 to be made from RSK Enterprises to the agents of McDavid on McDavid's behalf. So that's another $100,000 to him. 180 total.
Almost 200,000. You know what? If we add up a lot of the money that he paid out with a lot of people, that's a lot of money he was dishing out.
Oh, it's millions. Yeah. And I'm sure we probably don't even know about all of them. They're probably not all on record.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just think what we don't. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That just goes to show you how much he was making.
Oh yeah, please. Back then,
right.
In the 2000s, oh, he was paid.
Man.
Just throwing his money away.
Because he want to cover up.
I guess in his mind it was worth it, but
yeah, it was that important.
Okay, I'm reading down here because I'm trying to just see. Okay, so we're at count 6 on this indictment. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna cut this today. We'll continue this.
Okay.
Let me write down where I'm at. It's a lot. I mean, I could summarize it for y'all, but I think a lot of people are more so interested. And like I said, I put the links in the description if you want to read through these yourself. But I think a lot of people do want to hear the nitty gritty, like the real nuts and bolts of the actual indictments.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. This is the first state indictment, this is state indictment number 2 issued in May. If you're just coming in or in late, we did cover the first indictment issued in February after the docuseries where he was first charged by the state. 10 charges, and then here we are, another 11, so 21 charges total. And what is going on? Aisha's telling somebody to shut their trap, child. Houston. Houston, there's a problem. Houston, you still in the chat?
Please
put a number 1 in the chat if you still in the chat.
Houston, please be respectful to our guests in God Is Done.
No wonder Miss Delacroix, she in the chat checking too.
Houston, please be nice.
She said, "Hi, Houston. I'm sure R. Kelly is doing well. His last photo was he was looking." Well, Wayne said 1.
Hey, Mr. Wayne,
are you Houston too? Welcome back, Wow Wayne. No, I was asking Houston because I think Houston needs to come in the chat. Come on the panel.
Come on, Mr. Houston, please. Come on now, Houston. Let's get it together now. Let's have a wonderful Wednesday. You can join the panel. Be respectful. Please be respectful.
And come on in, Houston.
Let us know.
Whatever your name is, come on in.
AKA D.
Especially to the ladies. You have to be respectful to ladies. Now, that's not
you guys are supposed to fill in those letters. D.
Yeah. Well, this stuff is in black and white, and it does mention about police reports and false information purposely submitted, you know what I'm saying, to cover up. So that's a lot of confirmation of what we talked about, weeks over the several weeks, said that it has been police reports made.
I think Houston is in the replay.
Oh, okay.
Just don't be harassing my people.
Yes, leave Miss Queen Aisha alone.
Right. No, well, it's Queen Keish that he's
okay.
He is addressing. We'll say he.
Yeah.
I see he took Texas out of his name this time because I done blocked it twice.
I was gonna say he just keep changing his name.
Yeah. It's all good. You want to be over here so bad. Come on in the panel. It's all good. We don't bite.
He want to be a warrior. He wants to be a warrior.
We want to know if Susan Logan is testifying too, or if she's provided anything to the prosecution. I'm very curious about that also.
I'm curious too. When did Barry Hankerson stop working with R. Kelly? Do anybody know?
I don't know. I remember when I read or heard about the fallout, that big last fallout they had.
Yeah.
From Bruce. I think he was the one that told us about it.
I wonder what year was that, like, officially cut ties with him. I wonder.
Which there was something about him in the news too. Let me see if I have that.
Yes, TMZ about that artist didn't get permission to use
Normani.
Yeah.
First of all, did we give Marla Gibbs her flowers today?
No, ma'am. No, we did not.
Marla Gibbs from the Jeffersons, y'all, the maid on the Jeffersons. I don't know if anybody old enough up in here to know the Jeffersons, but she finally got a star on the Walk of Fame.
Aww.
Shout out to her.
Yes.
Okay, let me see something.
She's beautiful.
So let me see if I can pull it up because it's not in my phone for some reason.
Hey, you want me to send it to you in email real quick?
Nah, I'm gonna pull it up. Here we go.
And Hankerson, while you responding and giving comments, we need you to be on that stand.
And I'm surprised he's coming up out of his shell to speak on anything.
Exactly.
Seemed to me he was trying to make a point. So
right, he was praising the artist, but then gonna say it would have been nice if she would have got permission.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Normani, the artist. She came out with a new single, I think with Cardi B. I think she came out with a couple things actually, but one of them sounded a lot like One in a Million. So I'm gonna just read this. It says Normani's alleged sample has Uncle's blessing. She would be supportive. Of course she would be supportive. She was a supportive human being in general. It says Normani's Wild Side has delighted and surprised fans with its homage to Aaliyah. And the latest singer's uncle says she would have been totally cool with it. If you missed it, Normani released her first new track in a couple years, and along with featuring Cardi B, many music folks believe it contains a sample of Aaliyah's One in a Million. Well, and not only that, the fact that I think Timbaland produced it, and she thanked Timbaland, and she mentioned Aaliyah in her gratitude.
Yeah. So, homage, they paid homage.
That raised some eyebrows, it says, because Aaliyah's music is rarely sampled and isn't even available on streaming service. And that's another thing, Barry Hankerson, who claims to own the rights to the music. Why are you hoarding her music like that? She would not have liked that. If you so worried about what she would have been pleased about, look in the mirror and ask yourself, would she be pleased with you?
Exactly. And then he was selling a lot of her music to the highest bidder at one point before he got found out that he did a lot of illegal stuff. Wow. His fraudulent ass. A lot of her things is still in legal battle thanks to him. And at one point, I think Timberland had sued. Yeah, Timberland and Missy Elliott and a few other artists, Neo and all them, they done sued R. Kelly and everything, and Hankerson for some things. They still have yet been paid anything.
He needs to be in jail. It says Barry Hankerson, Aaliyah's uncle and manager of her catalog, tells TMZ his niece always, quote, always encouraged young women pursuing their musical and entertainment careers to achieve their dreams. Hankerson is the founder of Blackground Records and says he owns all of Aaliyah's masters, and he says it's clear Normani has been inspired by her music. He adds, I believe that Aaliyah would be more supportive of a young Black woman that chose to emulate her music and style.
She owned all her masters. Ain't that something? Why mama don't own?
Damn shame. Says Barry did add that it would have been more honorable if the singer sought approval to sample One in a Million first, he said, but ultimately he does seem to give his seal of approval. Now, you know good and well, if he had a leg to stand on, he would have sued them people.
You better know it.
He said, I will not stand in the way of something that brings to light the incredible staying power of Aaliyah. So in that light, wishing Normani well with the song and overall career, God bless. I think Aaliyah would be pleased. Is this him? Oh no, that's Timbaland. I was about to say.
I was going to say, dang.
An attorney, I was like, wait a minute. You look a little young. An attorney for Black Ground confirmed with us that the Aaliyah sample was never officially cleared for use. However, Normani's team insists that Wildfire doesn't actually use a direct sample. That might be up for debate, but Normani herself seemingly confirmed the sample was used when she replied to a tweet about Timbaland, the producer of One in a Million, vibing on to her new track, saying, I must have died when I seen this. Oh, okay. So he heard it and responded. I thought he produced it. Well, I mean, Barry Hankerson needs to crawl back under the rock that he came from up under to comment on this. And I'm wondering, did anybody even ask him? Like, was he just calling people up, like, wanting to brag about the fact that he owns the rights to all her music and her masters? Like, he should be embarrassed to say that, because she would definitely not be cool with not sharing her music that she worked so hard on.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. So, till, wait a minute. Let me check, because I think Miss Della done sent me. You want me to play something that you sent me in a text message? Attorney Michael Avenatti responds to charges against R. Kelly on YouTube.
Okay.
24 minutes. Okay. Let me see.
Well, it was a correction. It was a correction. It does say that the child was 14 years old, not 10. But he said 10 times. Her age 10 times if you want to start it out at 24.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. But it's been alleged that he did have a 10-year-old. Allegedly.
Okay, let's hear.
You can clearly listen to it. It is clear. The video is far superior than the video that was used in connection with the 2008 trial. It is an entirely different video. Repeatedly on the video, both the victim and Mr. Kelly refer to the victim's age as being 14. That occurs in excess of 10 separate times on the video. Both the victim and Mr. Kelly can be heard referencing her age. It is also clear from other things that are depicted on the video that this was in no way role-playing during some sexual act. It is clear that this young lady was 14 years of age during the time the video was shot. Mr. Kelly, throughout the video, stops what he's doing, stops his acts of sexual assault, and he proceeds to move the video camera and adjust the camera angle, zooming in, changing the direction of the shot, and things of that nature. So there's no question that he knew exactly what he was doing. At one time, or at one point in time on the video, in the first scene, it is clear that Mr. Kelly is having the victim watch another piece of pornography, which appears to be him with yet another young girl on a big screen television in the background. Repeatedly on the video, the young lady refers to Mr. Kelly as Daddy. The video depicts Mr. Kelly engaged in oral sex with the young victim, both receiving as well as giving, as well as vaginal intercourse and anal penetration. There are also instances of Mr. Kelly urinating on the young girl on the videotape. This video was turned over again to Ms. Fox and others in her office earlier this month, within days of our recovery of the tape. We have since provided additional information and evidence to Ms. Fox and others in her office. We envision continuing to do so because our investigation is not complete.
Boom. So there that is. I mean, anybody running around, I'm sorry, saying this guy is innocent. I mean, not even to say, you know, I can hear people innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So presumed innocent until guilty, proven guilty in a court of law. But if you think this man is innocent, please get out of your delusion. Please get out of your delusion. Okay?
Yeah.
Because he's very much, allegedly, he's very much guilty. I'm just going to say allegedly, but we know we don't believe that. So you don't like it? Houston, Texas, you got a problem. And it's your own problem. It's your problem, not mine. Okay, Houston, Texas. So, I don't know how you want to vocalize your support for a monster. I'm saying a monster. 12 years old, 13 years old, 10 years old, 14, 15, 16. It doesn't even, to me, it's 18, 19. I mean, I know those are legal, but a grown 50 something, 40 something, however old this man was at the time, it doesn't matter. He was grown, 20 something. I don't care.
Yeah, any adult that do anything to a child is wrong. And he even did things to adults too, like, the drugging and the abuse, physical abuse. Like, that's terrible.
Beyond. So, let's see, Hazel. And CNN confirmed what Michael Avenatti said to be true. A CNN reporter saw the video and reported the exact same scenes and dialogue. Yeah, I remember that. And didn't they get threatened because they were saying, oh, you guys are watching child porn? You should be,
But they also needed help viewing evidence and stuff. And that CNN, that's the one that also had to get counseling too after viewing that. They had to get mental, professional help, which I can only imagine a lot of them probably has to get help.
I know, imagine. I mean, there's a lot of people watching this who have themselves experienced such trauma as a child and as an adult, but we're talking children, and so the healing from that is an ongoing process. It is something that's definitely, but it's a road. The road to recovery is one that is real. Like you can definitely heal from such trauma and tragedy.
Yes, you can. I had my journey as well, so
yeah. Well, I think I'm done. What y'all got before we close this out? We appreciate all of y'all who hung in here with us through all this legal talk and whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of it was hard to hear, hard to digest, but it's what we're looking at with regard to this trial the following trial. So these are the state charges we're talking about. But the federal charges aren't any better. So, we just got to see what time brings. And, I'm just thinking, because I was looking at Weinstein, who we know is serving 23 years. And I think he got convicted on 2 victims out of so many. Yeah. There were a lot of accusations against him. Yulita, it has been a long time. Welcome back.
Because he pled guilty to the California charges, right?
He pled not guilty.
Oh, he pled not guilty. Okay, I thought he pled guilty.
No.
At one point, Weinstein, before California came to him, they said that he was on his cell phone and he was paying out money to people, like paying people off. The judge had to tell him to put his phone away. He was doing that wire transfer and stuff to certain victims.
In the courtroom?
Yeah, when he came out with tennis balls on the walker that day.
Okay, yeah.
They said 3 people he was in the process doing money transfer, paying them off.
Unbelievable. The time we're in now, this is where everybody's getting their just due. So if you out here rocking with still, with doing things you're not supposed to be doing, conning people, being just a nasty individual, you finna get yours. I'm just saying. And it's gonna be
New
probably
age of Aquarius.
stage of Aquarius. It's a new era, and it's definitely time to stand with the truth, stand with what's right versus what's not, and do the right thing in general. Hazel said, "Oh, just to repeat, Barry Hankerson stopped working for R. Kelly sometime in the year 2000."
Okay.
So a long time ago, long before he even got indicted. I know he was glad when he was out of that mess.
Yeah.
And as far as his camp goes.
Right.
Yes, it is time to end this R. Kelly thing and his escapade. So yeah, we've been covering these things on Wednesdays, Yulita, just talking about R. Kelly and covering his case because there's constant action happening, especially going closer to the trial. And we're actually going back on his Crimeline to just recap, how did we get here? So we just kind of went through we went through the first state indictment and half of the second state indictment. We're going to come back next Wednesday and finish that up. We will be here Saturday night live talking about all the other things going on in the world, like COVID stuff, of course, vaccination stuff, of course. We're going to give people their flowers because I believe the Olympics start on Friday. I saw a commercial said, join us Friday for the Tokyo Olympics. So I'm probably going to touch on some of the stars showing off. Let's see. Harry's little Barry should have quit after he found out what arcade. Oh, he definitely should have left when he found out what was going on with Aaliyah. And somebody had a question. I think it was JC asked, and I think you asked it, Beautiful Spirit, as to why does Barry Hankerson have the masters and not his mother, even though he was the owner of the label. That's his sister.
I'm wondering if she the one got him and taking it to court. That's why it's been a legal battle. Maybe her and her son is taking him to court. I'm wondering, is that what it is? If so, I hope they win their case. And I hope they win against him. Because he basically sold for the money. He sold out for the money.
We have to look into that. But maybe that book that's coming out will give us some insight too.
I hope so. I really do. So, I got a good feeling we're going to find out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got that Aaliyah book coming out, I think, at the end of August. So I'm going to be reading that on my members channel for members only. So
that's the same week. It's a lot going on in August. Trial, we got the book, anniversary dates. Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right, Yulita, you back in the U.S. I don't think I knew you left the U.S. But welcome back. Yes, make sure you're subscribed. We come on Wednesday nights, Saturday nights. I do a little Sunday worship for a few minutes on Sundays. Yeah, make sure you tuned in. It's good to see you too. It's very good to see you. Glad you're safe. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to end this here. And I'm just going to say thank you again. As always, much love to everybody. Peace, love, light, positivity, all that good stuff. And love, of course. With love. All right. Well, thank you, my mods. I appreciate you on the panel and again in the bushes and in the replay. So join us next time. Till then, peace.